Assemble the accused! Bear witness to their trials. The time of the Inquisition is now at hand. Putting pop culture to the rack, the Inquisition calls to account the events of the week, rooting out heresy wherever it is found. I am Grand Inquisitor Doomcock, the future ruler of Earth, and joining me for tonight's torture is Nerdrotic Channel's Grand Inquisitor Gary Beekler. Gary, I would like this to be the first Inquisition that I ever opened up with profanity. Fuck Watchmen.
Fuck Watchmen. This is already demonetized, so it doesn't really matter. It's right back to being demonetized before we even hit the airwaves. And wow, okay. Really wasn't Watchmen. It didn't feel like Watchmen, like you said. And I will start out by saying it is the first episode. We don't have broader context or anything, but it really felt like they crapped on the character of Rorschach. And if you are going to do another Watchmen, the biggest problem DC in particular has had with Doomsday Clock or before Watchmen is you're missing Rorschach. Rorschach is your connection to that story, whether, he's not a perfect connection, he's not a perfect character, but he's the one everybody loved. And without a Rorschach character, aside from Alan Moore missing, it's not really going to work. This was never meant to be a story with a sequel or a prequel or a Doomsday Clock or anything. And it just further craps on Alan Moore's original vision, in my opinion.
Oh, for fuck. It definitely does. It definitely does. And it made me very, very angry. Fucking Rorschach is one of the great comic book characters of all time. And for them to dare to go ahead and do that it's just obscene. So basically Rorschach has become a symbol somehow. I don't know how anybody even knows about Rorschach. That's the point. His journal that he sent into the paper was going to spill the beans about the plot, and expose what Veidt did. Ozymandias, the whole plan. Otherwise, the world wouldn't know about him at all. So I don't know why he has become a symbol of white supremacists and just spreading hatred with the mask. I find that deeply, deeply offensive. Yes, Rorschach was not perfect. He was paranoid. He was a conspiracy theorist. He was definitely a right-wing kind of conspiracy kind of guy. But there was nothing in there, nothing to suggest he was a racist in the slightest. And it is deeply, deeply offensive to me. In the same way that the owl ship, when it appears. And what do? With the owl ship, they wreck it. The first thing they do is trash it, which is really them trashing all of Watchmen. Watchmen is one of the best goddamn fucking graphic storytelling experiences in history. I think it's the number one. And when you put them all together into a 12-chapter thing, you don't say it's a graphic novel. I would, just because it's like 12 chapters, and it's so cohesive. But regardless of what you say, it is the pinnacle of graphic expression, graphic storytelling. And for them to defile it, for a hack like Lindelof to defile it, makes me sick. You're going to whip out the...
I have my Watchmen right here.
Right there.
So I have it in my little protective
outstanding
case.
Beautiful. I've got the Absolute Watchmen. I've got the early edition hardcover and then a later edition. I've got Watchmen out the ass. And I can tell you, sir, this is not the Watchmen. This is not Watchmen at all, which is a mercy. It's the only mercy they show us, however.
It really is, because, Watchmen is a lot of things to a lot of people. To me, it was just flipping the superhero genre on its ear. And it had the backdrop of nuclear Armageddon, which was the problem of our time in the 80s that you and I lived through, and many people in the chat did as well. Lindelof's basis for this, the whole backdrop, what's supposed to mirror that, at least according to his words, he could be lying to us or trying to misdirect us, was racism and police brutality are equal to the nuclear Armageddon of the 80s, as far as being on the brink of destruction. I don't really know how that works. I don't know how that works in Tulsa, Oklahoma. This all feels forced. I don't know how the owl ship made it to Tulsa, Oklahoma.
Why the fuck would the owl ship be in the hands of some, small podunk cracker police department in Tulsa, Oklahoma? To fight what? To fight what?
Obviously they wanted to make the backdrop. It was very, I don't know if you caught this because it was very subtle in the beginning of the episode. They had the massacre, the Tulsa 1921 massacre,
yes,
of Black Wall Street. And we follow a little boy who escapes that, and he plays into this later, or does he? We're not sure.
Right.
And that's how we start the episode. And then by the way, it really stuck it in there. And then we follow that by a cop pulling over a drunk driver. And we find out early on that the cops, their guns are locked in. So they have to call in. How this makes sense in any world, I don't know. So they have to call in, give them their situation. Like, I feel I'm in danger. There's a possibility of drugs or, contraband or whatever. Please release the gun. You're dead by then anyway. So this guy was, the cop saw a Rorschach mask, and asked
in the glove compartment of a white guy. It's a black cop, and it's a white guy. And the white guy opens his glove box to get his license, and the cop sees, oh, heavens, a Rorschach mask. Although, really, it's not a Rorschach mask at all, Gary. It's just a mask that's dirty with some splotches on it, which looks nothing like Rorschach's mask. It's got eye holes, for fuck's sake. It sucks. It sucks. It's not even, I wouldn't recognize it as a Rorschach mask unless they had said that. I don't know how the cop does, but never mind. Go ahead.
No, but he recognizes it, calls it in, and then the cop ends up getting shot because he took so long to get his damn gun out. I guess the guy said he was hauling lettuce, but he
tosses the lettuce into the car.
Very subtle.
That was a nice touch.
Yeah, really. And he should have left his ID, and this is supposed to be 2019. There's no technology. Of course, we're in this alternate world. So if we have a whole different world, you have to world build, and already things don't make sense. But again, it's the first episode, so I'll try to withhold judgment too much on that. Then we meet Angela, and first we meet the sheriff, who's Don Johnson, Judd. He's watching Black Oklahoma musical. He gets stood up by Sister Knight, who is Angela, who is Regina King, our main character, who is a cop who was born in Vietnam 2 years before it became a state.
Exactly.
And then moved to Tulsa, Oklahoma.
Well, that makes sense. So I came over on the land bridge, Gary.
Yes. And we find that out through a weird exposition scene where she's making some eggs, and then somehow gets caught up in the conversation of how she quit being a cop and was shot.
Did you get a chill when she separated out the yolks, and then the yolks made a happy face in the bowl? Because see, happy face, like the happy face. You
remember the Watchmen?
How did you anticipate that? Yeah. Just like there's a lot of clocks. Cause see, get it? There was a clock in Watchmen. Get it? Watchmen. And there's a clock. So you get ticking clocks, and they're removing batteries from old watches.
Just in case you didn't get it, that this is connected to the Watchmen. Again, I'll remind you, it's a smiley face. There you go.
With a little bit of blood on it. Spoiler, how much you want to bet something circular is going to get a splat of blood exactly like that, Gary, by the end of the episode?
I wonder if they're going to do what everybody's been doing lately, like Star Trek and Star Wars. They're going to say something's a sequel, but it ends up being a soft reboot by ripping off the original story with using the same beats, but then saying they're paying homage or things go in cycles, but they're just redoing the story with just different names, different faces, kind of like, I don't know, Force Awakens. And pretty much everything that comes out, the next Terminator film is the worst part. I have to admit, Bryan Singer did this in the first X-Men. I hate news TV playing the news for exposition in stupid places, like a kid's classroom. A kid's classroom has a TV somewhere on it playing the news, and for some reason, and through that they had to throw it in there, and they had to show that Dr. Manhattan is on Mars and he's still building stuff and knocking it down.
Of course, it doesn't look anything like what Dr. Manhattan constructed before. Dr. Manhattan on Mars originally constructed this elaborate, amazing, futuristic clockwork-like structure with spires and points. And basically, Dr. Manhattan now, he constructed something that looks like a crude pueblo.
It did. Now, this could be right. This could be misdirection because, as you know, this is supposed to be a sequel to the comic book series. So this is a sequel to a TV show you've never seen. You have had to have read the comics, and in the comics, Dr. Manhattan clearly said he's going to a different galaxy to create some life.
Yes, he's going to go ahead and become God somewhere else. But no, he's still puttering around on Mars. Now he's forgotten how to build good stuff.
Yep.
He's building pueblos for Mexican Martians. So there are Mexican Martians up there, and they need haciendas.
I do. Oh, God, I hope they have margaritas in there. And maybe some nachos. I love nachos. I really do. So, yeah, we get that silly scene in the classroom. One of her kids gets into another fight because he brings up redforation. So that's the reparations they were talking. I've done a video on this. You can go search it about the whole lead up to the Watchmen and what Lindelof.
Yeah.
So redforation. So Robert Redford is still president. There are reparations, and there's also a trailer park, very subtle. Again, all the imagery is very subtle in this, called Nixonville, with the giant Nixon in front of it. And that's where all the white trash hangs out. And of course, they're all the 7th Cavalry. They're supposed to be a secret terrorist organization, but I guess they all stay in the same trailer park. So much for being secret.
It's kind of like Section 31 with their black badges that they wear, advertising, hey, we're Section 31, we're secret.
So as you could probably tell, Doomcock and I are not big fans of the school of bad reboot, which is Jar Jar Abrams, which Damon Lindelof is a school. He's from that school, so we're getting mystery box here. So of course, we're not getting any answers. You're not going to find anything out until the end, and it'll probably be meaningless, or it'll probably mirror Watchmen perfectly. We already have fake Rorschach, who's called Looking Glass. I'm blanking on that actor's name. He's a good actor. He was in Oh Brother, Where Art Thou?
Right. Yeah, Cracker Rorschach with a reflective, mylar kind of a mask that reflects in the pod stuff in a way, evoking Rorschach incorrectly.
But it's totally different, man.
It is.
His is a reflective mask.
Exactly. You're right.
So
basically, this has no resemblance whatsoever, tonally or actually, to Watchmen. I guess it's Watchmen cuz masks. That's basically, it's Watchmen cuz masks and some crap from Watchmen grafted on and debased. Did you catch that Veidt in the mansion was naked, going around naked all the time because of Dr. Manhattan?
Yes, a
parody of Dr. Manhattan.
Wow. And again, very subtle. And it's obviously Ozymandias. What this scene had to do with anything, I don't know, except for so his butler and his maid, what are they, robots or clones?
I suspect they are, because he handed him a horseshoe to cut the cake with. So I guess we have a surprise coming up. And was the robot like jerking him off at the table? It seemed like that's what she was doing.
I thought she was either massaging his thighs or yeah, wackadoodle. I'm not so sure.
Yeah,
I'm
not sure either. And he's written a play for them, a play that they are going to perform. It was like the Watchmaker's Son, I think is what it's called. He's got some kind of plan to save the world, and it centers in Tulsa, Oklahoma. And apparently the Doomsday Machine now is not Dr. Manhattan or the A-bomb. It's a big trebuchet. He's built a trebuchet in Oklahoma. And I guess that's what the Doomsday weapon is. I don't know.
Yeah, I'm not so sure either. Hang on. Yeah, it looks like we have 2 streams going on. It's the second time in a row that StreamYard has done this to me. So,
for God's sakes,
yes.
I'm sorry, dude.
It's okay. What we're going to do is we're going to make that one unlisted, and we're going to tell those people to go over to the other stream. I can do that right quickly.
Oh my God, that is absolutely absurd. Damn you, Lindelof.
Damn you, Lindelof. Yeah, you know what? It's StreamYard. They suck. They really do.
Lindell, fuck off. That's what it should be.
So here we go.
I can't stand that guy. I will never forgive that idiot for Lost. I will never forgive Carlton Cuse for Lost. I will never forgive any of the writers or production team of Lost. Ever. I hate them. I hate them with a passion. And Wokeman sucks. You know, the All Black Oklahoma was very badly done. They could have at least put some effort into it and gotten some people who could actually sing Broadway. It was very offensive to me as a fan of musical theater. This is basically something in my notes. I wrote down zero relationship to Watchmen, just a woke wet dream superimposed upon Watchmen iconography. Smearing Rorschach as a bigot or a symbol for bigots, ignoring what happened actually in Watchmen, ignoring the journal that Rorschach sent, ignoring the plausibility that Rorschach could be a symbol of anything if that journal had not turned up. It's pathetic. It's really pathetic. It's Watchmen, cuz masks, and that's it. In this universe, police are now secret masked vigilantes. They are all basically masked vigilantes. Why? That wasn't anything to do with Watchmen. So now they are abusive. They are a secret cult, just another gang like the Rorschach gang, and they go around committing abuses on people. What the hell does this have to do with Watchmen? I don't know.
And it undermines the journal. Completely.
Yes, exactly.
And the journal was sent to the New Frontiersmen, and it was left to our imagination what would happen. Yeah. And now it just got into the hands of some white supremacists who figured out that it was all, it was fake. It was a government op. And what does that make them right? Because they figured it out, but their deductive.
What's it got to do with racism?
What does it got? Yeah, their deductive reasoning was to, hey, let's form a white supremacist group because we figured out the giant squid was fake. Goddamn, let's get some tater tots. And
Rorschach has showed us the way in the light.
Anybody got a giant Nixon statue? I want to put it in front of my trailer park, and we'll call it Nixonville, and that'll be our secret hideout. Okay, come on, brother.
Oh God! And then during the show, we have or should I just hold off? Are we waiting for people to join us?
No. By the way, we do have 2 streams going, so dueling streams here. I have put in the one with that's got like 300 people in it and going down. That one, I just unlisted it. Go to the other one that I've put the link in the description. That way I can respond to you in the chat and stuff. I'm gonna keep it up, but please, I can't pay attention. I do too much inside baseball. StreamYard is jacked. That's all I'm gonna say. That's all I'm going to say. I'm not.
Did you pay the money for the multi-stream thing or something?
I did. The thing is, real quick, if you put a description in StreamYard, it doesn't carry over to YouTube for some reason. So you have to do all your editing and description in YouTube. But when you do that, it creates another stream, which is stupid AF. So I figured out what's happened. I won't do it again, but we're not going to use StreamYard next time. Next time we're using OBS. So we'll be fine. We'll be fine. Sorry about that, folks. Again. It's been so long since we actually reviewed something on HBO. It's
Game of Thrones.
Game of Thrones. And welcome to all the Game of Thrones people from HBO who probably haven't watched us since Game of Thrones. And I just did a 6-hour live stream on somebody trying to tell me season 8 was good. And you know what? Somebody probably likes this too. A lot of the critics do, which
I don't know what the fuck they're thinking. They're just trying to get woke points, Gary. How do you look at this piece of crap and be excited?
Can I call it like I see it? I think I will. I'll call it like I see it.
You should.
This was written to get good reviews. It was written for HBO. Wasn't really written in mind to actually be a true sequel to Watchmen. This was written for David Lindelof to probably score some brownie points again because he was probably on HBO's shit list and somebody else's because of The Leftovers not a cult success, but we can't say it had a lot of viewers because it didn't. It only last 2 seasons, and he certainly has his fans. Not a lot of them, but he has his fans. And this was an easy way to get back into the game. You try to get, for one, we don't know if there's going to be multiple seasons. This was made to be 1 season, they say. Sounds like to me it's going to be 1 season. I guess it depends on the ratings. I'm guessing they'll be okay out of the curiosity factor for this one. But even the critics liking it said it's meandering, it's long, it takes a while to get going. I wonder how much the general populace will stick with that. We'll have to wait and see. Sometimes people like stuff like this, and I'm just left wondering, maybe it's me. Maybe I'm just crazy and dumb.
I don't know. But, for me, honestly, this feels like a repurposed fucking script.
Yes.
It feels to me like HBO said, well, we're not going to make D&D's Confederacy show, so we're just going to go ahead and raid some of their script ideas for modern day, Confederate America. And pop it, graft it onto Lindelof's thing, and let Lindelof pretend it's Watchmen. That's what it feels like to me.
Hey, can I ask a question? So I'm going to use the Access Media's logic here.
Yeah.
So follow me.
Absolutely.
So this next Civil War should be starting tonight because of the violence. Because if we watch the Joker, that's going to wake up all the incels. Right. So if they watch this, like this, of course, violence is about to be committed by many people.
Gary,
Rorschach fans,
dude, I got to tell you, as I was watching this, chills ran down my spine all around the lair. I was watching in my Austin, Texas base to enjoy the weather, and all around the lair, you know what I was hearing? The theme to Dukes of Hazzard.
Yes,
and it just seemed like save your Confederate credit cards. The South was rising again, and they were like tearing down the street, and shooting off 6 shooters. I heard people out there literally, even the women, talking like Yosemite Sam, and it was just eerie. It was eerie. I didn't realize what was happening. You have nailed it, sir.
That's right. That's right.
That's right. I'm doing it again.
Oh shit!
I'm even doing it. Rootin' tootin' varmints.
Where's kids menu Jeremy when you need them? Regina King's Sister Night goes into the very subtly hidden Nixonville and takes out just some random guy by herself. She's got brass knuckles, so she goes in and takes out a guy. And
right, she's a fascist. She's a vigilante, kind of a thug. Kicks in a guy's door, beats him up just on a hunch, which is later, of course, proven right because Whammon can't be wrong. So of course he's bad, and drags him down to headquarters to put him in the pod.
The pod,
which
was supposed to be. I mean, was that supposed to be like smart? Like we're supposed to be impressed. Like, oh wow, he's gonna question him over and over again, flashing images, and that's supposed to break him, or somehow Looking Glass can figure out he's lying by asking him the same question over and over again and showing him,
random pictures and
Yeah.
loud music. Actually, I thought that they were trying to evoke the triumph that was Game of Thrones, but then they should have called it the Podrick instead. But they didn't, or the Podrick if you're doing an English accent.
Podrick. Well, at least Podrick was
Pod. We're going to take him into the pod.
Remember, and then that didn't work. Well, Looking Glass decides that he is not telling the truth. So Regina King by herself takes him in
his ass and
beats the crap out of him in a room.
Right.
And gets the information out of him like a badass.
Right. Because, women, strong women, right? That means as violent and stupid and brutal as men. That's what a strong woman is.
That's right. Well, 50-year-old Regina King, she's in shape. So they decide that they got to go to the cow pasture or something. And that's where the rest of the subtly hidden 7th Cavalry with their Rorschach masks and their giant Gatling guns and planes are hidden. And I'm just thinking that they harken back to the 7th Cavalry War that they had with the cops 3 years prior. There's not a lot of background given because, of course, this is David Lindelof and it's mystery box, so least amount of information given. They'll give off they do information dumps at the end of episodes or at the end of the season where you feel like you're getting oh wow, all this stuff happened when it really doesn't. It's the trick of the mystery box. So they go and they have a big gunfight and a bunch of cows get shot up and then they get into a plane. And this is our excuse to bring in the owl thing that we were talking about that comes out of nowhere. And
yes, Archie, the owl ship.
The owl ship. And Don Johnson's in there. And he's not buckled anything, but he crashes and he's fine. He
comes out fine. Just his arms a little danged up. Nothing. A little bit of Johnny Walker won't fix. Southern Comfort. Stupid. So stupid. I mean, that thing crashes, tumbles. They would have been smeared all over that cabin. It's just ridiculous, dude.
And this terrorist organization is so like they are true believers that they passed out the poison pills. And when they did catch the guy that shot the cop, he poisoned himself, just like, I don't know if it reminded you of that scene with Ozymandias, when he tried to shoot Ozymandias and then he poisoned himself. It was not supposed to be like that at all. So they're hearkening back to stuff in the first episode that happens late in the Watchmen. They really tried to hit the member berries as much as they possibly could. Then we get directly to a scene where two families having nice dinner together, because there was a lot of those in the Watchmen,
it was a nice southern little get together, homie thing. And then Don Johnson reprised his role as Curly in Oklahoma and sang People Will Say We're in Love, which I found deeply offensive because I actually like that song and like that musical. But actually we passed over something that was the single most offensive moment in this goddamn whole thing that really made my blood boil. It made my hand shake as I was taking the notes. We see at a secret underground police meeting that sounds just like, it feels like a goddamn terror cell meeting. And they're showing video from the 7th Cavalry. And the speaker for the 7th Cavalry is quoting Rorschach and saying, the race traitors of America will ask us to save them, and we will say no. So perverting one of the greatest monologues in comic book history, smearing Rorschach, but it's not enough to smear Rorschach. First of all, they would have no goddamn idea that he had said this, first of all. Second of all, then what they do is they all start going tick, talk, tick,
I know,
talk, because they could see the cover of the comic book that they're in. They see the clock, the doomsday clock. It doesn't really apply anymore. I don't know why on earth these guys would be saying tick, talk, except reasons.
Yeah, because there's no connection to
Nothing.
Rorschach. It's
None.
supposed to be to Dr. Manhattan,
None.
whose
Yeah.
father was a
None.
watchmaker. Yeah.
None. None.
But
So fuck you, Lindelof, you piece of shit, you hack. God almighty. That made me absolutely sick.
it was boy. I mean, like, I try to be light on, especially with the first episode. I figured this would be bad, but I what really sealed the deal for me is when I saw how many critics liked it, and I'm like, oh, it's just made for them too. And yeah, we get the same thing with
ass kissing, woke wannabe prophets of suck that they just go out there and they're going to praise everything that is virtue signaling because they need to virtue signal in order to keep their jobs. And once again, wokemen will be at odds between critics and humans.
It will. God dang it. So let's get to the people, man. We should get to the people on this one. Well, let's do the ending real quick. So after the little dinner scene, so they did that big video, which they showed it to all the cops, and they all voted to unlock their guns, and that's what led to the whole assault on the cattle thing or whatever. And they go home. Regina King's character, Sister Night, has a little talk with Judd, who's Don Johnson's character, and she's like, they said they had a plan, and we found all these lithium batteries, so more watch stuff. So that's good. That's part of this plot that she's worried about. He said he's worried as hell, and he was off to go somewhere, and he gets his tires blasted. He gets out of his trucks. A bright light hits him. Then Sister Night is having sex with her husband. She gets a phone call, and it is Louis Gossett Jr.'s character, who briefly was in earlier when she was walking into her bakery, and he's like, when do you open? She's all, a couple months. He's all, I'll wait. And he's in a wheelchair and stuff. So she meets him. He gets her on the phone. He's all, hey, I know who you are. I don't need a mask. And we get up and we see Don Johnson's Judd character is strung up from the tree. He's hung by Louis Gossett Jr.'s character, who has a little note that the little boy did in the very beginning, who escaped the massacre in Tulsa, who in the note said, watch this boy, or something like that.
Yeah, well, watch out for this boy. Watch. Get it? Watch over this boy. Watch. Get it? Watch. And over the dinner scene, they shoot down through the light fixture, which is round, see? And then they have tick, 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 tick throughout that scene at dinner. Because, see, Watchmen. Get it? Watchmen.
And
but I tell you, one thing, Don Johnson is in with the 7th Cavalry, probably because I don't know if you saw it, Gary, but there was a photograph in his closet of the boy in the classroom that was talking about Redfordations.
Yep.
And so that's his family. And so, for all his posturing, remember that the cop in the opening gets killed because they won't authorize him to use his weapon. That was an actual delay because, surprise, surprise, a lot of the cops will be in on this 7th Cavalry nonsense.
Yes, they will be. Even though Regina King's character should have recognized that kid because, I mean, they're friends, right? So if that was Don Johnson's kid, do you think he would have recognized it?
Well, I don't think it's his kid. I think it's like a nephew or something because it had a picture of him in the closet. So he wasn't present in the house.
Gotcha. Okay. So I figured Don Johnson was going to be the comedian-like character in this, where he would be the morally gray one. I don't know if I didn't think he would be like bad, but I guess he's going to be. And that's where this thing is going to fall apart. If you want to really look at it, if you want to try it, and it's hard to get all the heavy-handed politics in this, where before there are definitely politics in Watchmen, but it really fit with the characters because the characters were all kind of screwed up. There was never really one solid, great character in all of it. They all had their flaws. And if we'll find out, we'll see how things play out with with Sister Night. But I have a feeling she's going to be perfect throughout the whole thing. And that doesn't really fit Watchmen. Watchmen is supposed to be filled with moral grays.
Right. Absolutely. And I got to tell you, there isn't a single character on this show that I give a damn about, that I find interesting. I didn't find any threads interesting whatsoever. It has more stupid shit in it too. Like early on in the scene when they're raiding the compound, they say they've got a plane, and yet they wait for the plane to actually take off and get a good run before they lift the owl ship up into the air. So, and that's one of the reasons it crashes, because they're forced to pursue it very speedily and go high, when really, as soon as they saw that there was a plane and the shooting started, they should have got up in the sky to be ready for that eventuality. And they probably should have just torched the plane. Not even wait for it to take off, but stupid script reasons, right?
Yep. A Lindelof script at that. All right, we got Scott Hudson says, guys, you must see The Lighthouse. It rivals Joker. All right. Thank you for $2. I've heard good things about it. Matt G for $2. Star Wars Episode 9, The Rise of Harvey. Well, maybe. It might be.
It's coming. It might come. It might.
Thank you, Matt G, for $2. Bird of Prey 5, Kapla, my friend. Watched Episode 1, Never Again, worse than STD.
I wouldn't say it was very boring. Completely worthless, drab insult to Watchmen, but Star Trek Discovery is the worst thing man hath wrought. So
yeah,
I don't know if I can agree with that quite.
The one thing about the Watchmen film, and especially the comic, it gets you immediately.
Yes.
Like it, and see, the thing is, where they wasted a whole episode and leading it up to Don Johnson. So Don Johnson's dead. We're going to get flashbacks throughout the rest of what his character did wrong, and Regina King's character is going to go down the rabbit hole of what he did, and it's going to be all connected to Ozymandias or this other. Actually, Ozymandias might have nothing to do with it, and it looks like there's another character who's trying to start another plot. But again, you just undid Rorschach's sacrifice. Again, they love doing this shit. Undoing Spock's entire character, undoing Luke and Anakin's sacrifice in Star Wars. And, Rorschach knew he was never going to compromise and asked John to kill him. He said, you better kill me, but not word for word.
And he ripped off his mask, and there were tears going down his face. And he said, what are you waiting for? Do it. And then he kills him and walks away. It's a hell of a scene.
Yeah. And it undoes that completely.
Yep.
I don't know how you see it any other way that Rorschach's sacrifice led to a white supremacist group. Thanks a lot, Matt Lindelof. Bad
reboot.
Alan Moore did put his curse on you. I hope he did, because Alan Moore knows the score.
He could. He's a powerful chaos magician. He could definitely do it.
Yep. Nicholas Horton for $5 or £5, excuse me. Hail Gary in DC. What were you doing with the Night Owl's flying machine? It didn't feel like Watchmen. The movie did. Yeah. The movie changes the ending completely. I understand that. And
which I resent. I deeply resent that. That's one of the reasons why I can't call that movie a classic. It was good otherwise, but yeah. Look, if you can't do the space squid and the subplot there, then you can't do the movie. I'm sorry.
It does really undo the end. I mean, like, it changes things fundamentally. It does with John's character. But I'm blanking on his name. He played Rorschach perfectly. Oh God.
He was great. Jackie Earle Haley.
Jackie Earle Haley played him perfectly.
He was Rorschach. He was.
Adam Child for $4.99. Hi, Gary. You're just so freaking awesome. Well, thanks. Is that writer from Rogue One that lives near you really making sequel reboot to The Last Starfighter? You mean Gary Whitta, who lives within a mile from my house? And I've been to his house. Yeah, that's what I heard. I hope not. I certainly hope not. Hail, Gary and Doomcock. Here's some coffee money and hazard pay for watching this garbage. Woke Troll for $5. Well, thank you. And I will take that coffee money. I said woke solo. Sorry, Maka Solo for $10. Hail Inquisition, just got back from a 10-hour drive. Thanks for making it go by fast with the live streams, even though the podcast Gary was on was a disaster. Well, that was something else. I didn't know how to go about that, to be honest with you. I heard some of the it's Game of Thrones season 8. Check it out on EFAP. Tim Jacuzzi for $5. Poorly written, poorly directed, poorly cast, poorly acted, and stinks to high heaven of self-importance. And let's remind everybody that this is a couple of white guys writing this story. Tyrone Beard for Australian $2. Gary would be late to his own funeral. Gigi on congratulations on. I hope I'm late to my own funeral. I plan on it. Believe me. Congratulations on 60K, Doomcock. There you go.
Thank you, sir. Thank you very much. I appreciate that. I was hoping at some point on these two streams I could slip in a few stray super chats that were left over from my stream later, but we can go on. Let's go on.
Yeah, we could definitely are we going to do Batwoman?
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah, we're going to do Batwoman.
I hope so.
Okay.
I watched the damn thing.
Yeah. Tim Jacuzzi for $2. I can't believe someone was proud of this pile. Well, I can't believe it either, but there's a lot of critics. We can go to Rotten Tomatoes right now while I'm reading the rest of
these scumbag motherfuckers.
It's, you know what, when you start hearing reviews sound alike, it's almost, I'm not saying this happens, okay, but when more than one reviewer, the audience is hitting hard, yes. And so it's a 93 on the tomato meter, and more than 2 critics talked about the humanity of Watchmen. That's something. For one, if you have to talk about a story having humanity, that's like saying the people acted like people. Well, yeah, that's kind of supposed to happen. It's almost like when you hear other actors saying, "Oh, he was so authentic," because that's hard for actors to be authentic. There you go. The audience scores at 48% already.
Yeah.
I love it.
I love how they tried to make her blue on the poster like Dr. Manhattan.
They did.
Pathetic.
By the way, all of you people who disliked it, can I just say it now? You're all istophobes. You're all horrible, horrible istophobes. You should rethink your lives. And by the way, don't forget to vote, downvote The Last Jedi, you Russian bots. Adam Child, P.S. Since you're all watching Batwoman, I'll rewatch Greatness, aka Batman the Animated Series. Have a good show. Got homework to do. See y'all later. Yeah, Adam Child, Greatness is Batman the Animated Series. God, there's that one version of the theme that's that they've amped it up orchestral with the choir and stuff. It's so good. It's
really
so good. Yeah. I heard it on Charlie's channel. On he plays it once in a while on Emergency Awesome. Illuminati for $10. Hey, Gary and Doomcock. No opinion on Wokeman. I just wanted to say congrats on DVD hitting 60,000 subs. Gary, here's a little donation to handle the Mr. Good. Mr. Good is subjective, in my opinion. So well today and EFAP. Thank you very much. Yeah. I don't even know what to say about that guy. I don't. Hey, there's somebody for everybody. Adam Child for $4.99. Gary and Doomcock. Night have to go full Ace Ventura and take a shower after watching Batwoman and Wokewoman. Like Ace did when he found out Einhorn was a man. Yeah. Oh, can you even play that movie anymore?
I don't know. Probably not.
Alex for $5. Rorschach was the most heroic Watchman, and now apparently he's a racist. The moment they say liberal tears, I was out. Yes. I think they took the fact that Rorschach was abused as a child. His mother was a lady of the night, so he had very skewed versions of intimacy and sex. So that would naturally make him hate all forms of sex, including sex with same-sex couples. And I think they read into that way too much. Instead of just seeing him as a childhood victim of abuse who probably is asexual and doesn't mess with that stuff at all because it's unpure. He's obviously very disturbed, but he also at the end knew what was right from wrong, which I can't say any of the other characters, even Dr. Manhattan. He didn't know right from wrong. He just was above it all.
Yeah, absolutely.
Chris Stanley for $2. It's a travesty what they're doing to Watchmen. Yes, just the latest thing to screw up.
It's obscene, and it's really not Watchmen at all. It's false advertising, frankly. But
it is. I could not agree more. It's fraud. It's fraud. In the original comic, Rorschach was an amped up, more paranoid version of the Question. Yep, exactly. That's exactly what he was.
Mm-hmm.
The Question is a great character, by the way. So well done in Justice League Unlimited or animated series, one of those two, but it's really well done. And Captain Spire for $5. So I watched it. I was fine with the Watchmen show in the sphere of the show, but in any other continuity to the movie, I'm lost. I never read the comic. Well, then you're lost because it's not connected to the movie at all.
Right.
So the squid, they had a little scene with the squid raining down, which is supposed to, hey, remember Barry, remember the squid?
Oh, the squid. Well, from the comic, not the movie, but it harkens back. Damon Lindelof, he knows what he's doing. Not.
Now, it's arguable to see how many more people have read the book than the film. As far as comic books go, I think Watchmen is easily, I don't think this is going out in a stretch saying that it's probably one of the most read comic books ever. So I think a lot of people have read the book or say they have read the book. I don't know if they've read it or not. But I still think there's going to be a lot of normies out there who watch the movie and are going to watch this and go, what the hell with the squid? And it's going to have to be explained when we'll see. And then they did the squid cake too. And apparently it's the anniversary. I didn't catch the date. I forgot. I thought the incident happened. Maybe I'm wrong, in October. And they said it was September.
Something like that.
Yeah.
And they're laying down in the pod. There was a question. One of the questions was, do you believe that the transdimensional attacks are a hoax by the U.S. government?
Mm-hmm.
So obviously the raining squid was one of these so-called transdimensional attacks. Now, I know that the squid thing was fake.
Yep.
Therefore, this transdimensional squid plague that has happened so much that people just like, there's a siren and then they get rained on and then they clean it up as best they can. And a street sweeper comes, Squid Squad, and cleans it up. But that must be Ozymandias still up to his old tricks because there was no space squid civilization. So, I mean, any reign of squid is going to probably be part of his new plan, his new plan, his soft reboot plan to save the world again from, I guess, burning crosses this time instead of nukes.
Nuclear war.
Yeah.
Because all of those white supremacists are going to rise up and kill everybody.
Right.
So, I mean, they're going to kill me, for sure.
Well, sure.
Yeah. Once they saw the makeup of my family. Here's the twist. The cult of Rorschach will turn out to be the good guys and the government, the bad ones. Lefties will cry anger. Wait and see. Thiago Cornerio. I'm sorry. I'm sorry for screwing up your name there. Canadian, 5 pesos. I don't put that out of the realm of possibility. Lindelof is trying to be edgy. All right. He tried this with The Hunt, and The Hunt got canceled. Partially because it had a lot of gun violence in it. It was right around the time of a shooting. But there was also that you kidnapped basically the Orange Man supporters, and it was elite liberals hunting them down and killing them. And it was done. It was done in the fact where the Orange Man supporters were the protagonists of this story. They were the good guys of the story. So they're supposed to go, see, we're not all evil in Hollywood. When Hollywood doesn't understand, it's not a right and left thing. If they even understood Phantom Menace, we don't like Hollywood thing right now.
Yes. And rightly so.
Yes. And it's deserved. It's deserved. For the greatest dynamic duo on YouTube, says Orville Nation for $10.
Thank you, Orville Nation. Appreciate that. Hail.
Love that guy. Love Orville Nation. He's all about the love, all about the Orville, which is a great show. Doesn't divide anybody.
Damn right.
But Watchmen, it's a show that brings people together. It does, in love and hope. Not that the story ever did, but you know what? The Watchmen did bring a lot of people together, not in the story, just as far as people who love that story, from all walks of life. And it's not a partisan story at all. I guess some could see it that way, but I know people from all walks of life who love that story.
No, I don't see it as partisan at all.
I think not wanting to die in nuclear war, I don't think that's a partisan issue.
Exactly. I don't either.
Call me crazy. And the reason it worked, I mean, I got to state this out loud for, I guess, the younger people out there who don't understand that there was a time in our lives that we all thought we were going to die. We didn't think we were going to get old. That was a very real possibility for an entire generation. So I can see how we're all kind of a little messed up. I dealt with it by taking a lot of drugs. I did. Ruin of House Roundhead for $5. I have locked Freddie P out of my account. You will no longer be referred to as Dude Bras. I won't praise J.J. Abrams for The Last Jedi, and I don't want to praise J.J. Abrams for The Last Jedi. And don't. Dude Bra, Freddie, I don't know. That's a video for another day. We're talking about Watchmen.
Yes.
But I think Freddie might be coming around a little bit, but we'll talk about
it. What are you talking about?
I think he realizes he stuck his foot in his mouth.
He fucked up. He realizes he fucked up?
Yeah.
Good.
Disabled Llama for Australian $2. I think Dude Bra, I think he came around and saw that he was the one being, I don't know. I can't take anybody seriously who goes F you if you don't agree with me.
Right. It says, this is George Lucas, not me. So fuck you if you don't agree. And it's like, right. And what did George Lucas write about the Chosen One and the prequels? Jeez, stupid.
Yeah. For me personally, if I say that's like being in an argument and then you just go and F you to that. I mean, you just lost the argument.
Yep.
That's Disabled Llama for Australian $2. Don't forget the super chats from the duplicate, and I won't. Disabled Llama, that is in the back of my head. God, and sorry about that, guys. I can't say sorry enough. Captain Spire, $2. Gary, any chance to get your son to play COH? What's COH? Help me, chat.
What's City of Heroes?
City of Heroes. Yes, I will totally get, because I know they have it's back. So yes, 100%. Me and my son will play City of Heroes. I effing love that game so much. Chris Stanley for $2. Great job on EFAP earlier, Gary. Thank you. And Doomcock did an excellent job the week before. Let's not forget that. That Yezin IRL. Oh my God. Yeah, he's something else. But listen, he was brave enough to come on. He wasn't a dick. So, I mean, respect for that.
Yeah.
Drackle 6 for $5. Thank you for watching Woke Kakamen for us. So now I can catch the quality streaming of like Teletubbies. I kid. Expanse, Babylon 5, and Classic Trek. All great things I will never say anything bad about. I still need to watch all of Babylon 5, but great respect for
it was good. It was good. It's just flawed because of things that were outside of J. Michael Straczynski's control. He got really sabotaged by circumstance repeatedly. So it was a rocky production, but I mean, he really stuck it and did a good job. He really plotted it out, and I respect him.
I met him once in another comic store, in a friend's comic store. Perfect gentleman. Nice guy. Hang on. What's up, Gary and Doomcock? Love your channel, says Jamoni, J Money J for $3.99. Well, thank you, J Money. That was a nice thing to say. Dreary Nitpicker for $4.99. Hey, guys, I hate the political, but I'm watching Watchmen now. I love how Hollywood brings up the KKK, but not the democratic involvement of the KKK. Yeah, they seem to slide right past that. And they bring it up so damn much, and the bad German people so damn much. You would think they want it to exist. Listen. We've had the History Channel for a couple decades that ran newsreels of the bad people in Germany over and over again. I don't think there's any danger of anybody forgetting. Nobody should forget. I understand that, but it's taken over a lot of a lot of genre recently because they're trying to push a narrative. And a lot of us see through that, but they try to go ist phobe when you bring that up. What do you want? That's the whole, that's the dastardly part of this. I don't know, lack of a better word. And a lot of us see through it. And thankfully, and I was just as guilty when this was starting to happen 3 or 4 years ago. I was like, nah, it's not happening. But now it's so prevalent. And I don't know if you caught the trailer for His Dark Materials prior to Watchmen. Did you catch the very end of the trailer?
No, I didn't see it.
They did the "She's the Key to Everything" at the end. I was laughing my ass off. I'm like, every show, she's the key to everything.
So it's really her Dark Materials. Let's just call it what it is.
It's her Dark Materials.
Okay.
By the way, yeah.
All right.
Very end of the trailer, they said she's the, they didn't say key. she's the key to everything, and I'm like, oh, I saw that coming. Davey Dahl says, wait. It's for people who know nothing about the Watchmen, says Jad, for $20. Yes, that's a great. I'm going to put that. That's got to be in the title somewhere, Jad. You get full credit. Thank you, my friend. Low Key Jarlson for $2. Say my name, Nerdrotic. Say my new name. Oh, this is a new name. Okay. Am I going to be saying something like Mike Hunt? I'm always afraid of that.
Probably.
Low Key Jarlson. Low Key Jarlson. That's a very heteronormative name.
Oh, shut up with the heteronormative.
Yeah. Dave Dahl for $1.99. This is worse than Discovery. Woo! That's a big word.
Wow, that's a big. I can't go there yet. I don't know.
I can't. It's too soon to tell. Doomcock, I ask people this all the time because it's different for everybody. Rorschach's Herm. What is your interpretation of it? How does it sound to you? Yep.
Like that. Okay.
Mine's like he does it mouth closed, but everybody does it different. So it
seems very specific.
It does. It does.
Like he's clearing his throat or so. I don't know.
Yep. No, but it's weird how everybody interprets it different. It's something I don't know. I kind of obsessed on at the comic shop. I'd ask people who are reading it, well, what's your interpretation of Herm? Dave Dahl for $1.99 would rather hear Harvey recite Rorschach's lines. Harvey, can you recite any Rorschach lines? I don't mean to put you on the spot, Eldridge God.
This city fears me. I have seen its true face. Must investigate later.
Nice.
You think I'm locked in here with you? Wrong. You are locked in here with me.
Yeah, that's right.
Possible homosexual. Have to investigate later. One of the parts that I forgot about, because I reread the book prior to this, that I loved that they kept out of the movie was Rorschach's basically turning of the psychologist in jail. That whole thing was so good.
I know.
I love that so much.
It was good.
He
really got
Rorschach at the end. It's like,
yeah,
so good.
It was great.
Yeah. NJ Scoundrel for $10. My Sunday nights haven't been this much fun since The Sopranos and Deadwood ended. Thank you, fellas. Question: did HBO as a whole go woke? Yes. Didn't they recently promote a lot of women to executive positions? I don't know about that, but probably. But
I don't know, but they're definitely, by their foul deeds shall ye know them. And I mean, Westworld and now Wokeman. I mean, shit.
Our good friend, I think you talked to him. You did talk to him last EFAP. I've never talked to him, but I love the guy. And I'm not, God, it sucks when you blank with somebody's name on the live stream. I'm such a boomer. That sucks.
Critical Drinker.
Thank you. God, yeah. Did a great Watchmen season 2 video, like the one I've been waiting for. I mean, it's basically what you said on a live stream we did what right afterwards, or was it Watchmen? It was something I was on your channel, you were on mine, I can't remember, but he extrapolated your whole argument out into a video, and it was fucking so well done. Wow. I don't need to do one now. Like, watch that video, and he breaks down everything that's wrong did I say Watchmen? Westworld, and
Okay.
all the differences from season 1. And it really well done. Good stuff. Today was my birthday, and Lindelof drops a turd on me. Worst birthday gift ever. Says Nightwish fan 1991 for $5.
So sorry, brother, but happy birthday.
Happy birthday, Nightwish fan 1991. Now you get to watch The Inquisition. So, and it's a double dose tonight, folks. Zarek Gaming, $2. 2,000 people watching, and you're not on YouTube search. Not surprised. Echo Base Network for $2. Not surprised. Thanks for letting me know, though. Echo Base Network for $1.99. You see, oh, God damn. I don't want, listen, Echo Base Network. I don't even want to say his name because he, did you hear that he went after me? He did.
Oh, some idiot that you don't want to say. His name.
Yeah. And I don't want to listen.
Yeah, absolutely. Blow him off.
So he went after you. He went after you in the Fandom Menace. Yes. And he went after me. Apparently in the Discord leaks, which I thought was dastardly, recording somebody's conversation and posting it. I'm not for that in any way, shape, or form, period. End of story. But apparently I was mentioned in it, not in a very good light. And you know what? That's fine. People can have opinions. I was informed that a couple of videos have been made about me recently concerning the Anas Abdeen issue, and everybody has a right to their opinion. I am going to stick to my rule of not responding to other YouTubers. For one, we're all in this together. For two, YouTube is going to start cracking down pretty hard on that, the YouTube on YouTube stuff. That's why even our friends EFAP have to be careful. And yeah, I just, they have a right to their opinion. I'm moving on. I'm not letting anybody slow my roll. Chris Stanley for $5. You guys make Sunday fun. Thanks. And you make it fun.
That's right.
We are but the conduit. Apocrypha for $1.99. Alan Moore would spin in his grave if he were dead.
That's right. That's right. He would raise himself from the dead and then come wreak his terrible Rwengi.
All right. And real quick, Cecil got this right away, but real quick in the chat, Alan Moore knows the score. What's that from? Quick.
Moore knows the score.
Alan Moore knows the score. It's a song.
I don't know.
But the quickest answer is not Googling it. That's what I'm going to say. Cecil got it like right away on Twitter. So I
didn't know. I didn't. Yeah, sorry.
What's up? TARDIS Zone is in the chat. What's up, buddy? How's it going, man? Damn. I got some Doctor Who to talk about eventually. I got a rumor I've been sitting on. You've probably been sitting on the same one. I've been sitting on a rumor for a month. Alan Moore probably sleeps in a coffin. He probably does. I would say he does. Nobody's getting it. I'll just wait till somebody gets it and then I'll say something. All right, moving on because we got to get to Batwoman here. I just hate it when I do that. Hazard bonus for your efforts. Congratulations, Doomcock, on hitting 60,000 subscribers. By the way, congratulations.
Thank you. And yeah, I mean, it just was a week ago, wasn't it, that I hit 50? And
yeah,
and I'm about to hit 61. Actually, I'm only about 12 or 13 away. So yeah, it's amazing, you guys. Thank you so much.
I told you October would be busier. Didn't I?
You're right.
I was telling you all summer. Right. I said summer's slow. We'll get busier. I haven't put out content in 5 days, and I'm like growing at a decent clip. But man, 60,000, and it was just yesterday you hit 50,000, so that's awesome. And he puts one of my favorite lines from Outlaw Josie Wales: "Endeavor to persevere, endeavor to persevere." Darkstar 57 $4.99. Space Squib, Space Calamari. Yum. Oh, I hate calamari. Yuck.
You don't like calamari? Wow.
No, I don't like seafood. I don't like seafood. And I've grown up near the ocean all my life.
I love sushi, or used to, before Fukushima, although I'm trying to assess whether these guys are right about what they were saying about that they're transforming it to this like lot less radioactive, less dangerous stuff before they dump it. I don't know.
I just stay away from it. I've done enough things in my life that cause cancer that wine. I'll just let it.
You're right.
Well, with Watch, ma'am, hopefully we get to midnight on the Doomsday Clock fast, says Adam Boy for $9.99. Yes, most definitely.
Let's just get it over with.
Don Johnson got out the easiest.
I know, man. I can't. I honestly, I mean, like you felt about Batwoman, I feel about this. I don't know how I'm going to get through like 9 episodes of this crap. I really don't.
8 to go, buddy. Hail Doomcock on 60,000. Gary, I told Mahler he owes you £100 super chat for subjecting you to this obvious coached paid for D&D HBO shill. They played themselves having him in. I've double watch it again. I doubt I'll watch it again. Oh, I thought it's good. You got to hear the other side. And the thing is, what happens a lot on YouTube is people will just repeat the same thing over and over again, thinking it's an argument. And listen, I know EFAP likes to get into the weeds on stuff and parse phrases and semantics. And like, I'm not the best in the world at that. I really am kind of a brass tacks summing up. Like, there's no way you can justify season 8's good. It's not good. To a lot of people, it wasn't good. My channel grew 60,000 subscribers in a month. Like good, like bad. That's how bad it was. People wanted to talk about it and there was nowhere else to talk about it. And most of the media turned on them too. And now we have listen, as time goes on, more and more people will call it what it was. It was bad. It was bad execution. It doesn't matter how hard they tried. It doesn't matter how hard they worked. It didn't work. Sorry.
Utter failure.
Yeah. And I think it was due to laziness. HBO offered them more money and more time and they didn't take it. And that's what it needed, flat out. If you're tired, you get people to come in and do it for you. Listen, I'll tell the story again. It was 2008. I wasn't making any money at the comic shop, but I didn't want to get rid of it. So I took on a partner. I worked twice as hard, took on another job that was out of my city, went back and forth from LA to San Francisco to keep my comic shop, which was making no money for a year. And I was barely there, but I was still running it and then doing editing and post work down in LA. I damn near killed myself. Yeah. But you know what? I wanted to do it. I wanted that to live. And they were making enough money, and it's just their legacy for the rest of time. So, I guess it's not that important.
Yeah, who cares?
Classic Comics for $2. Raining Squid is an omen of Harvey's coming, right?
It is, and I am.
Yep. I don't know. There's a couple of ways to look at that I really don't want to get into right now. Sad to say,
I won't get into it, but it is vile.
James Mold for $20. Sad to say, I figured this show was going to be a dumpster fire, and I did as well. And as with all things Lindelof, in the chat briefly, if you want to predict the end of the show, where it's going to end up, feel free, because I think I kind of know where they're going with this. They're gonna it's either gonna be that this is the new world that Dr. Manhattan created in another galaxy, or they're gonna fake Dr. Manhattan coming back to scare people, something like that. I'll know more but that's where I'm leaning towards right now.
Yeah.
I think that footage, that news footage, is fake footage of Dr. Manhattan. Patrick Meredith for $4.99. How dare you, Gary? We all are going to die in 12 years. A 16-year-old girl told me so, and she was totally robbed of the Nobel Prize. Who won it? Who won the Nobel Prize? I don't care.
I don't know.
I don't care. I just remembered. I could give two fucks.
Kathleen Kennedy.
Kathleen Kennedy won it. Yes, Kathleen Kennedy. Admiral O.F. Doom. I like that name.
It is.
For $5. The one thing they keep forgetting is that calling people that don't agree with you a bigot makes you, by definition, a bigot. Just an observation. I think he's right there, Doomcock.
Mm-hmm.
I think he's right.
Absolutely.
Is he like a distant cousin? Admiral O.F. Doom?
No, just inspired by, I think.
Gotcha. Cash Kester for $5. Just watched the episode and oh God, this shit is woke with a hint of Watchmen. However, going to keep watching just to see how ridiculous it gets, and we will too. We
have to.
Yep.
It's our job.
McKinney 90 for $10. I was kind of sold off the trailer, man. Able to beat up guys twice their size, but when the director mentioned that this is about combating white supremacy, I was okay, screw this. says Bikini 90. Yeah. You guys, thank you for the $10, Bikini 90. It's good to see you. Jay Boogie for $20. You guys will be served by stepping away from your echo chambers and including more diverse opinions in your live streams. You hail the Joker which took liberties with the character, yet you bash the Watchmen. One of two. Oh, he's not done. Let's get the second one. $20 more. Also,
Wow.
the woke narrative, you push the woke. Also, this woke narrative you're pushing is ridiculous. Nothing about this is woke. They are taking present day issues and forming a story around, much like the original comic did. Having black and women leads is not woke. 2 of 2. No, it's not. Did I say that, Jay Boogie? Did I say having a female lead is woke?
Nope.
Nope. No, stories are woke. Leads and characters are not. So it's not woke having a bisexual pirate Jenny, a character who's an anarchist. Okay, forget her orientation. She's an anarchist who's a cop. That's woke. That's stupid. Like, there would be no anarchist cop. Sorry, they're diametrically opposed things. So, and the narrative that they are pushing is white supremacy as the trouble of our time. Nobody likes white supremacy. I'm just saying it's not equal to nuclear war. You know what's equal to it? Right now, we have no danger equal to that. We don't, except for the nuclear bombs that are still out there that could fall into other hands. That's a real thing.
Yep, that's right. But I would say what is woke is the fact that Don Johnson and indeed all the white people on this show are suspect as being a 7th Cavalry. That's woke. When you go ahead and class like, okay, the women are, much better than the men, beating up the men, putting down the patriarchy one man at a time. That's what she did. Kicked in the door, and it's okay. It's perfectly okay because he's scum. He's a racist. But I think all the white people are going to be racist at this point. The kid is a racist. Don Johnson, from all appearances, is an undercover racist. There are undercover racists in the police department, and all the people who were in the Rorschach masks were white. So there you go.
Oh yeah, the Looking Glass. He's going to be part of the 7th Cavalry too. Bet your ass.
Oh yeah, you bet.
No, so contextually, I need to see more of the show, but the woke narrative, because it could be a red herring, the whole white supremacy thing. I mean, I don't know this because I haven't seen the entire show, but based on what I've seen so far, based on what Damon Lindelof has said, based on the politics he's pushing, based on his inspiration, which was Ta-Nehisi Coates, woke. Ta-Nehisi Coates is
absolutely woke. And as far as Joker goes, I don't know what he was saying about Joker. What did he say? That
you hail the Joker, which took liberties with the character.
No, it didn't. Okay, that I just like to say no, it didn't. It didn't, because that's not the Joker. In my opinion, that is a mentally deranged man who is in an asylum and who read some Joker comics and in his delusions identified with the Joker. But I do not believe that this is a comic book movie or indeed something in Batman continuity. But the difference, my friend, and why I would not condemn it, is I always say that genius is an affirmative defense in my court. Joker is genius. It's the difference between even if it was a perversion of canon, but it is genius. It is brilliant. It is the expression of an artist with a unique vision and not propaganda. So therefore, I give it a pass because I always give things of genius a pass. But that said, I don't think it violated anything. I think that it's a work of art that is open to interpretation. And my interpretation of it personally is it's got nothing to do with the Joker, except it's this poor kid who was abused and found chained to a radiator, who in his moments of misery escaped into fantasy, and probably some of those fantasies were Batman comics and TV shows.
I have a different take on that, but my take is Doomcock's take could be a possibility. I'm undecided.
Mhm.
I see it as an alternate reality Joker story, which I'm totally fine with. This is Watchmen is a direct sequel to the comics, according to the creators of the show. So I'm going to look at it like that. If they just said this is some what they originally said this was a remix. They called it a remix. So it was supposed to be loosely adapted. It was supposed to take place in some Watchmen world that wasn't necessarily the comics. It was only recently he came out and said this is a direct sequel to the comics. Initially, it was not sold to us like that. What's truth or not, you know what? I don't really care. I'm going off of the last thing he said. And if we're doing that, it doesn't feel like Watchmen at all. Now, if they said that Joker was somehow directly connected to the Keaton movie or some Batman movie, I'd look at it probably differently. I see it as a one-shot Black Label Vertigo Elseworlds Joker. That's how I see it. And I agree with you. If this was good, I would tell you. It's not the heavy-handedness bugs me, but this was just poorly executed. Bad storytelling. As usual, pretty much we get out of Hollywood. You guys watch the bad shows so we don't have to. Thank you, Grimy Australian $5. As far as echo chambers are concerned, listen, I can't step out of my house, man. I don't know what to tell you. I am just sitting in my room. People come in. People disagree with me all the time. I don't care. You notice you are welcome here. You're welcome to stay. Just like I treated I forgot his name now, Yasmin from at EFAP. It's as long as you're respectful, you can disagree all day long. You're always welcome here. Thank you for the $40. Hail Gary and DC. I shamefully have yet to read Watchmen. As yet I never got into comics, but I want to even more now to appreciate how bad this show is. To the greatest streamers, keep up the greatness. Wow, Loquacious Primate, you have not read Watchmen? Wow. Oh, Loquacious Primate. Thank you for $10. Read. Oh my God. I need to send you a copy. I have a copy. Email me your address if you don't mind me having it. I will mail you a copy. You would love it. It's
great.
Brilliant. It holds up today. It's not dated material at all, especially if you were just somewhat, if you have just any idea of what the 80s were about. The thing is, it doesn't get into trends. There's not like breakdancing in Watchmen. You know, it just talks about the overarching themes. It could often be mistaken. If it wasn't repeating the date all the time, you could think it's the 70s or the 80s. And it's timeless. It's timeless. Where is Dr. Manhattan when you need him? Says Nightmare Gamer for $2. No shit. I started watching this. I like diverse opinions, but all you're doing is pushing a false negative to people who are energized by it. This is not a positive thing. It is actually dangerous, folks. Jay Boogie for $10 says we are dangerous. Wow. You work for HBO, Jay Boogie?
Joker was dangerous. All those deaths from Joker's violence. I know.
How am I dangerous? Give me a specific example right now. Please don't super chat. Put it in the chat. I'm all ears, buddy. How am I dangerous? You don't even know me. Admiral OF Doom for $5. Except I have been Admiral OF Doom for 30 years. So who inspired whom? Just an observation. I think you just both like, Doomcock was born Doomcock like 200 years ago.
Exactly.
So
before I was on YouTube, we'd never met and I'd never seen you before. Therefore,
I think
I'm not
great minds. Great minds. You came up with it independently. Sheev Berger, who is Sheev Palpatine's older brother, for $4.99. Random question. If I'm on book 3 of The Expanse, is it okay to start the show without spoiling future books? No, you got to read book 4 because season 4 is book 4. So, how do you want to? No, stop. Watch the show now. Because you want to watch the show before you read the books.
You go.
So I would stop reading the books right now, watch the show, and then go back to book 4. If you're asking for £10, but that's dangerous for me to say that. It's very dangerous for me to recommend The Expanse to you. My God.
I know. I mean, you might cause all sorts of violence and rioting.
You know, it's dangerous pushing a narrative that doesn't exist over and over and over and over again. I think that's dangerous.
You mean
And
like
I've
Star
tried-
Trek Discovery is Star Trek?
Yes.
That's
Yeah.
complete shit.
Ryan, for 10 pounds, how do both of you feel about Martin Scorsese and now Francis Ford Coppola's comments on superhero movies? I feel like, while I respect both of those creators a lot, sounds like they're just, they sound like old guys to me. That's it. I mean, they have their opinions. Cinema is dead. I don't disagree with what Martin Scorsese says, a lot of what he says, but I don't think the MCU has ever said, not to defend it because I'm not a fan of what it's turning into, but currently, or what they've done, I think it's just fun movies. I think that's all they're supposed to be. I don't think even Robert Downey Jr. said they weren't high art. That's a quote that's in one of my videos. I don't know. What do you think, Doomcock?
I agree with you. I just got distracted because I saw a tweet that Star Wars Girl 77 tweeted out, considering I can't stand Watchmen, the general consensus is this show is nothing like it, so there's a possibility I might like it, which is like just kind of stunned me and paralyzed me for a moment. So I apologize.
It might. That's it's
can't stand Watchmen. It's now I'm tempted to watch it. She says, I don't know what to say to that.
There's something for everybody, and
I guess so.
And not everything is for everybody. That's the way
I guess that's true.
I mean, hey, I can't stand Disney animated films. Never have. A couple when I was a kid, but all the good ones came out when I was an adult and I was single. So there was no way in hell I was going to watch The Little Mermaid or Lion King or anything like that. Cause I was just too cool for that shit. I was in my 20s. I was all hard. So I was watching, just violent, the violent 90s movies. That's what I liked. Joker does not know his own origin. Can't mess it up, says Ron Cryer for $2. Yeah. It had great potential to get screwed up, and they didn't. Joker shouldn't have and isn't a definitive origin. You can have many and is an agent of chaos. Psycho Dwarf 9, agree with that for $5. This can be a delusion of one of his made up origins. I like that.
Yeah.
I actually like that. Yeah.
Well, that's the thing about Joker. Why I wasn't condemning it. It's because it's a work of art, and it can embrace a whole lot of different interpretations, and that is art.
Yeah. And Watchmen was not.
No, it was not.
Some nobody for $5. Ding, ding, ding. 100% correct. Pushing race and class warfare where none exists is way more dangerous than criticizing media. Pot calling kettle all day. Yeah.
Yep.
And that's what the elites in Hollywood have been pushing for a couple of years now, because an election was lost. They didn't get over it. They're pushing a narrative that it was like some group's fault. This group does not exist. There are, hashtag not all. There are certainly white supremacists out there. A lot of them are in jails. Small pockets in rural parts of the country that are insignificant numbers compared to nuclear war. And that's what we're talking about here.
Yes.
We're talking about nuclear annihilation, apocalypse of the world, dead children, burning. No, they're not the same. They're nowhere near the same.
Nope.
They're
way to lower the stakes.
Both bad. One will kill everybody. And the ones like a pocket of 100 people, 1,000 people who are, dangerous to small numbers, but we're talking about the danger of our time, apocalypse. No. How are you dangerous, but pushing? How are you dangerous, but pushing a false narrative that white supremacy is the problem? Is of our age? Let me see. That pushing white supremacy is the problem of our age. It's not.
We got way more problems than that.
Yeah. Pushing it constantly is I would say pushing it that it's pushing the false narrative can become very dangerous in a lot of ways. You can also create what you're trying to push against.
Exactly. By just mentioning it, and then lame people seize onto it and say, yeah,
yep,
that's what we'll do.
Mm-hmm. It's kind of like how, well, I don't get into here, but how, the media creates a lot of bad things. They do. The Price is Right review for $5. Kapla, my man. Hope you're doing well. I'm on your side when it comes to Picard becoming a dumpster fire, but it makes me sad since I grew up with TNG and I hate CBS. It doesn't make me happy. None of this makes me happy. None of it at all. Game of Thrones sucking. Watchmen being pilfered.
I hate it.
Drackle 6 for $5. Oh, P.S. Thank you for to Mrs. Nerdrotic for the hat and the beard oil I got ASAP. Thank you, Gary. Well, you're welcome. I will pass that on to Mrs. Nerdrotic. She is awesome, but I guess I'm dangerous. I used to be back in the day.
Yeah.
Okay. So if I missed any, I will catch them on the next time around. Thank you very much, Matt G, for the $1 donation. We're going to take a little break. I'm going to watch Batwoman. Then we'll be back to review Batwoman. So Doomcock, apologies. I want to apologize to you on the air. I didn't have time to link your channel in the description. I will do that immediately after we're done. Please plug your channel, my friend.
Please, folks, subscribe to Overlord DVD. That's youtube.com/Overlord DVD. That's my channel, and I would very much appreciate it. We've been growing a lot lately, and I hope that more folks will come on over. And who knows, we may be up to 100,000 in like 5 or 6 months. We'll see,
dude.
Maybe sooner. I don't know.
Quicker. Yep. And here's his channel right there. You see my next,
thank you, my friend. I appreciate that.
And we'll put that in the description. This one's staying up, folks. So the Inquisitions where we review television, I just keep them up. Algorithm be damned. And yes, so we will be back in about an hour, and I will try to watch Batwoman as soon as I apologize for this, folks. I'm still trying to find a way, and I'm very open to this. Anybody could email me a way to see Batwoman on the East Coast time. I can see it quicker, and we can do these things earlier. But until then, I got to watch it on West Coast time, and we have conflicting shows. And I still have a video to finish. All right.
Okay.
So thank you, Doomcock. You're awesome. I'll see you in an hour. You're awesome, chat. Even the people who disagree, we welcome you here. We're glad you're here. And see, it's not an echo chamber. Nobody's telling you to F off. No. It's fine. It's fine. You can disagree. You could be wrong. Everybody's all VPN. I'll try it. The VPN doesn't work with a couple of the streaming, like Sling and stuff like that. It doesn't. They just it senses that and they block it. I'll try it again though. I will try it again. All right. Thank you for all the suggestions. You guys are great. Thank you to the mods as usual. See you in 1 hour. And remember, kids, even the ones pushing false narratives, not all who wander are lost.